John Kavak is here with another edition of My Take. And today we're going to take a look at the NB Center Collection's 1942 DeSoto Deluxe four-door sedan. Now, DeSoto, it has an interesting history. Walter Glenn wanted to buy the Dodge brothers, and he couldn't. He was making some cars, so he wanted to have something of a lower priced offering. So they came up with the brand name DeSoto. Of course, eventually, they bought Dodge. So DeSoto's kind of had a little bit of an identity problem from way back. Nothing big, but as the years go on, they weren't quite sure where that fit in the lineup. But they were successful. They sold a lot of them. Had a pretty well-respected name. It came around the war years, 1940, 1941. The designs changed. They had a great design in 1942. Now, of course, this is an abbreviated production year. They only made cars for the first part of the year as all of the American manufacturing shifted over to wartime production. But the 42 design was sharp, and it had the famous airfoil hidden headlamp. The catchphrase on these lamps was "out of sight except at night." So it was a clean design up front. It looked classy. It looked fantastic. Problem is, they just didn't make very many of the models. So Brooklyn's given us a replica of the 1942 model that's in the NB Center collection in Allentown. Now, they released a BML version of the 42 DeSoto in 2016, and I got to tell you something, that's a great model. The release price on that one was 176 pounds, right around today's exchange rate, $216. So it was in brown and beige. It came out in 2019 was when they released it. And so the NB Center's given us a new one. Price is a little higher, 200 pounds, about $247, but I think it's worth the extra investment. We're looking at about $30 or so more. And I'm going to show you why I think it's worth the extra money. Now, I've had several people email me and say, these sleeves are really hard to get off of the NB Center collection models. I'm going to show you how to do it easily. Set the model up on its end on the table, put your fingernails into the sleeve and tug it up while you push down on the box at the same time. A little bit of finagling and it comes off. The second and third time is a lot easier than the first, but this method works. Now, there's the packaging. It's NB Center collection packaging. I know some of us don't really care for the packaging. We want to take the models out, want to put them on the shelves. I get it. That's the way I display mine. But I've got a few special high-end models that have their own cases. And this is just ideally suited for that type of presentation. It's got the heavy plexiglass cover. It's got the beautiful base that's white and almost glows. It's etched on it. It looks really fantastic. So we're going to get this model out and put it on the turntable, and I'll go over some of the changes they made, some of the improvements they made. Now in the package, you get a little wrench that helps you take the plexiglass cover off. You can remove the model from the base if you want. There are little feet there that you can stick on the bottom of the base if you don't want to have it with the cover. So there's some options there. It's just really great setup, really great packaging. So here's a model on the turntable. Now the color on this one is distinctly different from the BML version. It's a little dustier. The BML was just technically brown over beige. They're calling this Navajo brown over Palomino beige. And the brown looks to be about the same color, but the Palomino beige is, boy, I'll tell you something, I've been in the car in the NB Center. This is a really great replication of that color. Brooklyn's doing some amazing thing with paint chips and computers to replicate colors. So the model looks fantastic. If you take a look at the side, there's an improvement on the wheels, greater detail, greater trim on the side than what we had before. But that front end, the grille, it's just phenomenal now. A little bit of extra black wash in it to pick out the detail. The hood ornament is well rendered. The emblem on the front. Brooklyn's badging is getting as good as anything else we've seen in 143, and every manufacturer has improved in that area. Brooklyn is really at the top of their game on badging. The window surrounds are great. The vent window has that new wire, which is very realistic, very dimensional. Darren Mold has come up with that, and I'll tell you, it's a new way to do windows, and it looks realistic. Windshield wipers are to scale. You know, I've already mentioned the wheels and the tires. They look really good. Hinges are picked out. Door handles are picked out. Around the back, excellent job on the lensing, the red paint for the red lensing. The license plate is very well, very detailed, very accurate, and again with the badging, it's just beautiful. The bumpers are nicely chromed. It's a great model, okay? And you know, you might have the other one in your collection. There's enough difference in this that it would look good sitting next to it or somewhere near it in the collection. They haven't made many. You know, people say, well, why are they doing the DeSoto again? They already did it in 2019. Why don't they build some other models? Well, Brooklyn's got a lot of models in the pipeline. We've got, there's some pretty exciting stuff coming out. I've had a chance to see some of the early work on some of it. But this was an easy build for them. They had a buyer for it. He bought a certain number of models. Brooklyn already had the castings ready. They already had a lot of the detail worked out. They just had to add some to it. It's kind of a no-brainer for Brooklyn to do this. Now, the only hesitation I have on it is that, you know, the original guy that ordered them took most of them. There's not a whole lot of them left. If you're looking for something special, something hyper-detailed, this is everything that original 42 DeSoto four-door sedan deluxe wanted to be and a bit more. It's a beautiful model. I think it'd be a great addition to your collection. But if you want one, I think you got to move quick. You go to the Brooklyn website and order one up. Simon's waiting for you to hear from you. So, hey, this is my take on the NB Center Collection's 1942 DeSoto Deluxe four-door sedan. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you spending some time with me. If you like the video, give me a like down there on the bottom. Love to have you as a subscriber. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up, and pretty soon we're going to be talking about that show that's coming up in March 19th in Chicago. This is going to be an epic one. So I have more news for you shortly on it. Keep your eyes open. I hope to see you in Chicago. Thanks for tuning in.